I'm Ashton Addison from EventChain for InvestmentPitch Media and the Crypto Coin Show. And today on Blockchain Interviews, we have Ori Levi, the CEO of NFTrade. Ori, welcome to the show. Thank you for taking the time to be here today.
Hi, thank you for having me here.
You're very welcome. I'm excited to dive into the world of NFTs and some of the solutions that NFTrade is bringing into the blockchain space right now. I would love for you to just kick it off with us with a high-level overview and the focus of NFTrade, and then we can dive into the details.
All right. So NFTrade we started development on that last year when we first had a little exposure to NFTs, and the first thing that came to my mind was the resemblance of NFTs to game items, and how I think that this will be one of the main things NFTs are going to have its fair market share at. And so the first thing that I kind of saw that the current marketplaces or the current platforms are lacking was NFT swaps. Because I mean, with game items, me playing Counter-Strike, for example, I was always trading my different weapons and skins with others, one by one for one, or two for one, or whatever. And I could never find that feature on any of the NFT platforms. And that's when I decided to start NFTrade, and that was the main thing that basically started it. And yeah, it evolved from there.
Definitely. And yeah, gaming really was at the inception, and still collectible cards is almost like a game in itself as well, which has helped NFTs explode in the last 12 months. But yeah, that ability to have that cross compatibility and interoperability between games and between marketplaces obviously is going to be important. It's really like adding liquidity into these different marketplaces so that everything's not siloed into just one game, and also just having the accessibility by being able to sell your NFTs, for example, in Counter-Strike to any other game, and be able to transfer that over. So, but from what I understand, NFTrade is more than just a marketplace to that has interoperability. It's an aggregator, and there's also the inclusion of creating NFTs as well. Can you talk a little bit more about the overall scope of NFTrade and what kind of solution you've built?
Yeah, so like I said, we started with swaps, but it evolved, and we kind of wanted to make NFTrade a one-stop shop for everything of the life cycle of an NFT. So right now, you can also, of course, mint, sell, trade, and buy NFTs on our platform. You can even farm NFTs with different projects that are currently creating their own farms and their own NFTs to reward their users who are holding and staking their tokens. We will also allow NFT staking to earn tokens. That's basically the main scope. But NFTrade, real main feature is it being an aggregator of all the NFTs, kind of becoming the index of all the NFTs from all the blockchains. So a user that wants to get information about what happened to that NFT since its creation, where it has been traded, how much it was sold for, all this information will eventually, as much as we can, if everything's on chain, whatever we can track, we're going to have that information of this NFT on our platform. And yeah, we are creating a cross-chain support for all the blockchains. We're currently live on Mainnet, on Ethereum, Binance Smart Chain, and Avalanche, which we launched the latter 2 days ago. Yeah, so we're currently include 3 blockchains, and we're adding more EVMs supported, more EVM based blockchains like Polygon, and others that are EVM based, and currently working on adding the non-EVM based, which is a bit more tricky. But we can go into that a bit later. Yeah.
Definitely. Yeah, that's great to know. It's not just interoperability between marketplaces, which there are a lot of them that are on Ethereum at least, but multi-chain support as well. And that's really interesting that you mentioned Avalanche. There are a lot of NFTs I've seen on Ethereum and Binance Smart Chain, but Avalanche, not as many people know about the Avalanche protocol, but it does have a lot of functionality and it does have that ability for NFTs. Is that something that you see as up and coming, or already has a network effect growing in the NFT space, and that's the reason why you implemented it?
Well, so Avalanche is it currently has around 10 marketplaces of NFTs on it, and I think that that's quite significant. And this is one of the reasons why we have decided to implement that right after Ethereum. But also we have a close connection to the Avalanche team, and they are actually they've been very supportive of us, and they're we consider them as we're basically partnered on this, and so this is one of the main reasons why we also had a pretty quick integration with them. Only 2 weeks after we launched our Ethereum mainnet, we've implemented both Binance Smart Chain and Avalanche. Their team is amazing. They're very supportive. We got all the help we needed to make a fast implementation. So I guess that's the reason these guys are on our platform basically right off the bat. Yeah.
That's really great to know that you're partnered, and I'll definitely be looking more into Avalanche NFTs myself as well. And one of the other blockchains that I'm curious if it's in the wheelhouse for NFTrade is the Wax blockchain. I know partners of mine that have been creating NFTs on Wax, and they seem like that was sort of one of their primary goals, was to be the NFT worldwide asset exchange. Is that something that's in the wheelhouse, or do you have other protocols also on the short list that you're looking to expand out to?
Yeah, so Wax and Flow are definitely our next goals. Wax currently holds a huge market share. What they've created basically allowed NFTs to be very cheap, and I mean, of course, you have expensive ones there as well, but it really allowed the cheaper NFTs and the younger crowd to really be able to double with NFTs, and it is currently one of the most popular NFT networks, and it's definitely our next goal. It's Wax and Flow. So Flow is, as you know, Dapper, that they have all the NBA Top Shots and all the others, and it's kind of unfortunate that currently there is no place to really interact with them, and they are kind of in their own world, and this is what we're trying to solve, and basically connect all of them in together. And really, the users should not really have any, they shouldn't feel like they're on different networks, and it should just be a natural thing for them to work with all of them.
Definitely. And I sort of see NFTrade as like the ERC20 standard to bring all the NFT marketplaces together to be able to trade them easily. And that's actually, I believe, going to provide more value for each of those ones. And so they're not siloed projects where it's hard to take that value and extract it and move it into other protocols where you want to purchase other NFTs or other collectibles. So I'm really excited because I saw that NFTrade just launched the mainnet, and you're live. Can you talk about the journey to the launch and what's happened now that the mainnet is launched on NFTrade?
Yeah, so for me, for us as a team, it was really important because we're having our token sale, our public token sale at the end of the month, and we've been working on NFTrade probably if I look at all the projects that we've seen popping up lately, which a lot of them don't really have much more than a white paper, unfortunately. For us, it was really important to come out with a working product before we even go on a token sale, because I've seen so many projects that either don't deliver, or it really takes them way too long after their token launch. And so that was a race for us. We've been working on this since January this year. There was some work done before that for the design and the setup, but the actual development started January this year. And it took us around 6 months to go on Mainnet, which I think is a good amount of time to actually build something that. And yeah, we've been testing it, and everything works. And right now we don't have the volume that we were hoping to have on our platform, but that will only require some more marketing. And we believe that eventually us charging no fees for the first 6 months is probably gonna make gonna differentiate us with other marketplaces, on top of all the other things that differentiate us.
Definitely, and that's expected when you're just launching right away. NFTs, even though it's been quite popular throughout 2021, and a lot of A-list celebrities and people are getting involved, I think the everyday people, there's still so many people who have never even owned an NFT and traded it, and we're so early on. So I think that this is coming in at the right time, but it's still so early on. I think it's going to be growing huge in the next few years. So I'm sure that this is a longer term vision for you and your team.
Of course, I totally agree. And we're very, very early. Like it's insane how early it is. I've been so I just came back from the Miami conference. It was a Bitcoin conference, but obviously most of the non-Bitcoin or the I would say crypto events were all NFTs. I've been to several events. NFTs are definitely the next big thing, and everyone's very bullish on them, even though the markets, compared to what we've seen around March, the volume of trades is lower. But I believe that's natural. There was a big hype, and now it's settling, and it's going to mature and become a lot more. So a lot of new use cases are being built as we speak, and I believe that we're definitely in the very, very beginning of NFTs.
Definitely, Ori. I agree. And you mentioned that you have the token launch coming up at the end of this month, at the end of June 2021, and you have already launched the mainnet. You have a product that's working, which is great. And with that token launch comes the NFTrade utility token as well. I'm wondering if you can touch a little bit on that utility token. What are the main functionalities within the platform, and does it create a sustainable ecosystem for the participants in NFTrade?
Yeah, so our token eventually is going to have a governance utility to it, and everyone will be able to make their decisions on to help us make the decisions on what are on our roadmap and on big features that we want to implement. But in the short term, this will allow some discounted fees, or even at this point holding enough tokens in your wallet will even mean no fees for trading on our platform. So these are the short-term ones, but the long-term is a DAO governance token.
That's great. And you mentioned shaping the roadmap up. After the token launch, can you give a glimpse into this, the rest of the summer of 2021 and throughout the end of this year? What are some of the major milestones that you're looking to roll out with the NFTrade platform?
Yeah, so main ones would be the Flow and Wax integrations of those blockchains. Another will be iOS and Android native apps. Another major one is credit cards integrations. When that is something that we believe will make a huge difference. If we looked at statistics, and actually the best performing marketplaces were the ones that had the ability to pay with credit cards, because NFTs are widely used by non-crypto people. Lots of art collectors are already in the game, and they've been using their Amex, not their Ethereum. So as soon as as we implement that, that's going to make a major difference on our volumes.
Very cool, and that's great to hear as well. And for the viewers that are looking to follow along, not just for the upcoming token launch, but for the launch of all these blockchains, and to start using NFTrade and to start trading NFTs and creating NFTs as you can on the platform as well, what's the best way for them to learn more and to get involved?
So first, we have our Medium, which we try to post almost every weekday. We have really great articles on it. Yeah, and another way would be joining our Telegram, where they can ask anything they want and get all the latest information. We're on Telegram, we're on Discord, and we're on Twitter, and we're on our website as well. So check it out.
Sounds great, Ori. I will leave all those links in the description box below. All the best with the upcoming launch and the growth past the mainnet now for NFTrade, and let's follow up in the near future.
Awesome.